Roll call, please.
Mayra Reyes.
Fanny Valencia.
Saul Olivas.
Amy Engel.
John Simpson.
Bob Helverson.
We had no public comments, so I'm going to go ahead and pass it on to Mr. Simpson.
Good evening. First, I would like to welcome the Oak Park School Administrative Team as they are going to kick us off with their school improvement presentation for the 25-26 school year.
Okay, good evening, Curriculum Board, Dr. Halverson, and Cabinet. I am Annette McMahon, the principal of Oak Park, and I couldn't be prouder than to stand here before you with Maricela, our assistant principal, to present Oak Park's improvements and our improvement plan. Our dedicated team worked hard over the summer months to create an improvement plan that's aligned to our mission and vision, and that represents a collective commitment to improvement. At Oak Park School, growth isn't just a goal. It's a shared mission that has transformed our school. Only a short time ago, we found ourselves designated as a targeted school at the state level. It was a moment that could have discouraged our staff, but instead, it sparked something powerful, a united commitment to focus, reflect, and rise together. Teachers came together with intention and clarity, examining data with fresh eyes and asking the right questions. Leadership empowered teams to plan strategically and align instruction in ways that honored both rigor and student support. Our results have affirmed our path and our hard work. Oak Park has risen from a targeted to commendable rating. But even more impressive was the measurable surge in student proficiency. We now have the second highest proficiency level of all elementary schools in both math and literacy. Our literacy proficiency rate as measured by IAR in 2025 is now 25.5%, which is up from 7% the year before. And our math proficiency rate is 14.8%, up from 2% the year before. Although there are new cut scores, as Dr. Engel has shared previously, we showed significant growth even when using the previous cut score. While we showed great growth year to year, we still have a long way to go. Preliminary iReady data just taken last week shows a 9.8 proficiency, which you can see is an increase from the fall diagnostic testing, which is located on this grid. Our preschool data shows almost equal achievement in COG 3 and LLD 8, phonological awareness, and we are very proud of our preschool scores as well.
So as of this morning, our current annual daily attendance rate is 93.9% with a goal of reaching 95%. The chronic absenteeism number, as you see on the grid, accounts for students whose percentage of days absent place them at tier 3. At the end of the year, though, that percentage reflects students who have missed 18 days of the school or more. As of today, that percentage is 1.8%. Similarly, our referral data shows that 10.9% of our students have incurred in 76 major office discipline referrals since the beginning of the school year. Our Positive Tiger team continues to work hard to ensure we have appropriate supports for all students and teachers, as well as celebrate our students' progress.
Our literacy goals and action steps are aimed at raising student proficiency. We have been strategic about our time and our instruction in reading, writing, and all areas of literacy, focusing on what students need. Our plan is hinged upon increasing teacher capacity and efficacy. Our leadership team helped to develop our expectations surrounding teaching, the learning environment, as well as communication between staff for the good of our students. Environmental supports for students is the focus of several of our action steps, ensuring that students have the supports necessary to understand text in their first and second languages. Our preschool goal is to raise the percentage of students in the building middle and building later areas of the continuum by 6% in the area of LLD 8, which is phonological awareness. And our elementary school goal is to increase the percentage of students meeting, exceeding grade level expectations by 5% as measured by IAR.
Our numeracy goal and action steps are also aimed at raising student proficiency. We have refined our math practices, increased communication between staff and members and related services providers, and all students set goals and participate in school-wide math challenges. As with literacy, our numeracy improvement plan is based upon the foundation of increasing teacher capacity and efficacy. Our preschool goal is to raise the percentage of students in the building middle and building later area in COG 3, which is number sense of quantity, continuum by 6%. Teachers have increased math discussions in all activities in all areas of preschool, which teaches students the importance of math in all areas of our lives. Our elementary school goal is to increase the percentage of students meeting or exceeding grade level expectations in math by 5% as measured by IAR. At Oak Park School, we understand that consistency in our culture helps us achieve our goals in all areas. Creating an atmosphere where students, staff, and the community want to be involved drives us as a leadership team. Staff at all levels are intentionally working to strengthen relationships with students and families, recognizing that connection and belonging are key drivers of regular attendance. Through consistent communication, proactive outreach, and collaborative problem solving, our school community is focused on removing barriers, supporting families, and encouraging students to attend school daily. We have created school-wide practices to encourage and celebrate attendance. Our goal is to foster a culture for belonging such that fewer than 20% of our students will be chronically absent. Oops.
Lastly, the teaching pyramid observation tool is used to measure key practices for success in preschool. Items like schedules, routines, transitions, teaching behavior expectations, and engaging in supportive expectations with children are scored according to what is observed during a focus visit. Our goal is to raise our overall score by 2% as compared to our spring 2025 result of 89%. Our score in November, we just completed, it averaged 86%. But this also represents new students, new staff that we have in preschool, and we anticipate we will reach our goal by spring of 2026. Thank you for your time.
Ms. McMahon, you got to come back up to see if there's any questions first. Ms. Garcia, thank you.
Any questions?
I don't have a question. I just want to make a comment. I know that, and that's why I wanted you to come back up. I know you have the second largest preschool program in the district. So I know it's quite a task to make sure that you're running not only a K-5 program and a large preschool program. So I just have to say congratulations to both of you and your staff on the significant gains this last year when it comes to IAR. It's clear that you started with the culture and climate first, and you've built a place that individuals trust and want to be. And now you're really digging into that data side of stuff. So I'm proud of you guys. Keep up the hard work. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you for your support.
Next, we'd like to welcome the O'Donnell administrative team for their presentation.
All right. Good evening, Curriculum Board, Dr. Halverson and Cabinet. I am Tanetta Davis, the principal of O'Donnell Elementary School, and presenting with me tonight is my assistant principal, Marie Weiss, and Paul Muchler. Yes. All right. Thank you. So when we look at our school improvement team, it represents various roles in our building. This group works hard together, looking at data, analyzing data, identifying real needs for our students, helping shape our priorities in the school improvement plan, and help support teaching and learning and the overall student well-being. We collaborate well together, extremely well together. So typically we start off as a whole group, meeting every month. But something that we went back to this year is the subcommittee work. So each, those members sit on a subcommittee, so numeracy, literacy, and culture for belonging. And that has helped us to keep accountability with our school improvement plan and help us to make sure that there's implementation happening as we move forward. So when we look at our current reality, we're looking at our overall academic data first. Literacy is currently stronger than our math across most important assessments, especially our pre-K writing and the IAR, where proficiency is more than doubled our math proficiency. We are seeing positive trends with our subgroups, which reminds us that with high achievement is possible for our building, giving us a clear example of what's working. So we see that these subgroups are moving forward. What we have already in place is working. Also, the deficits across our groups make it clear that we need to continue focusing our tier 1 instruction, solid small group practices, and alignment across grade levels where we want to move forward.
So looking at our attendance, our ADA rate of 93.6 is something that we are really proud of. As a celebration, in the past 3 months, we have seen an increase in students with perfect attendance from 99 students to 143, showing that many of our students are coming to school consistently. As of November 28th, our chronic absenteeism rate is currently at 22%, which is keeping us on track to meet our end of school goal. As we move forward, our focus is on maintaining struck attendance while putting targeted supports in place to reduce chronic absenteeism and ensure all students are here and ready to learn.
Our referral data indicates that a small percentage of students account for the majority of behavior referrals. These students are currently receiving targeted Tier 2 and Tier 3 supports within our MTSS and PBIS framework, which includes Check-in, Check-out Connect, SAIG groups, family counseling services, student trackers, or a combination of multiple of these. This targeted approach ensures students with elevated behavioral needs receive timely and appropriate supports beyond the universal Tier 1 practices.
Okay, so our first goal is on our literacy. So our SMART goal, we're looking at an increase in proficiency by 6% across all student groups. So even for our pre-K students, our DRDP, we're looking to increase the writing outcomes for them and our IAR reading performance. So it is a continuum. So we have our pre-K students all the way to 5th grade. We want to see that growth happening with them. Our priority teaching practices is focusing on strengthening our student engagement, and through that being intentional about academic discourse, like deep comprehension work, and using assessments to identify any misconceptions for our students, and most importantly, to celebrate their success and their growth. To support this, we are reinforcing consistent small group instruction by providing professional development, resources, and targeted coaching to help staff plan and deliver high-impact literacy lessons. We will continue to monitor writing, foundational skills, vocabulary fluency, and closely monitoring our children with disabilities and our EL students.
Our numeracy SMART goal focuses on increasing math proficiency by 6% across all student groups, starting with pre-K through our DRDP outcomes and continuing through 5th grade IAR performances. So we are building a strong mathematical foundation early and sustaining that growth over time. Our priority teaching practice is centered on intentional academic discourse and meaningful math tasks, where students explain their thinking, identify misconceptions, and engage in productive struggle while celebrating growth. To support this work, we are strengthening consistent small group instruction by setting a clear expectation, providing professional development, and supporting staff with planning and delivery of targeted math instruction. We're also closely monitoring instruction through regular walkthroughs and data tracking, including iReady and MP3 data, with a specific focus on EL and children with disabilities. While building alignment and share ownership through collaborative planning, learning walks, and sharing best practices.
By June 2026, O'Donnell School will strengthen a culture for belonging by improving instructional practices within pre-K by increasing their TPOT scores by 6%. We will reduce chronic absenteeism to below 25% and decrease office discipline referrals by 5%. O'Donnell educators will build a collaborative culture that engages students, staff, and families, strengthening trust and relationships to improve attendance, reduce behavior referrals, and increase student sense of belonging. Our key actions are as follows. We will boost family and community engagement, build positive school culture, improve communication, strengthen our SEL and restorative practices, and enhance our early childhood systems. One area to highlight is our O'Donnell Day celebrations and Friday welcome committee for students. Along with these two things, our year-long professional development focus on restorative practices for educators.
That is the end of our presentation. Thank you.
Any questions for the Donald team? All right, I'll give my 2 cents. I just want to say once again, thank you. Miss Davis is an East Aurora grad, grew up teaching in EA and has become an administrator in EA and has been very effective with that. Between Miss Wise and Mr. Metchler, you guys have done a tremendous job as a team there. You can once again tell when you walk into that building that students are welcomed each and every day. I would encourage board members, if you have the opportunity, to go to their Friday welcome because it fills you full of energy. I've seen it once. And it is amazing. So kudos to you and your team for building out that collaborative environment. Not only do they have traditional education, they have pre-K, and then they have special education programming as well. So they've got 3 programs in their building, which is a lot to juggle, which is why we have 3 administrators there. So thank you all for your hard work, and thank you to your team as well.
Thank you.
All right, thank you. Next, we're going to move on to the Resilience Education Center catalog. This item is an informational overview for our winter and spring 2026 rec catalog, which outlines our enrichment opportunities that are offered there from January through April of 2026. Overall, you'll see that in this catalog, it does reflect our continued commitment to community engagement, family programming, and then student enrichment that is offered beyond the traditional school day. The programming is organized across 3 primary areas, which is art, culinary, and then wellness. In art, as you'll see in it, there's a lot of specific offerings that are targeted specifically for our middle school and high school students. And then again, we offer a differentiated approach for our students in our early learning through 5th grade. Moving on to culinary, the culinary classes, we're excited because they emphasize family engagement, hands-on learning, and then age-appropriate cooking and nutrition skills. Again, it's also kind of differentiated in scaffolding where there's ranges that start out focusing on things like pancakes and muffins and fruit waffles to more involved experiences, which are kebabs, wraps, and then even cupcake decorating, which is a huge area that our community has given some really positive feedback on. And then last is that wellness and movement programming, again, where these are yoga-based family classes. They're offered, again, for our early learning students all the way up through 5th grade. And again, it focuses on areas of like physical wellness, mindfulness, and then family participation. So we're just really excited as this was able to offer programming that is differentiated and targeted for all of our students and families, again, from early learning all the way up to high school. So we're really excited about our new catalog and just wanted to put that out as an informational item. Any questions I can answer on that? Thank you.
Next up, we are being joined today by Dr. Teresa Vemmer, Mrs. Rosary Horn, and Mrs. Robin Dixon. They are here to share updates on MTSS in District 131.
All right. Good evening. Our district's MTSS framework, as defined by the Joint Committee, ensures every student is proactively receiving the right levels of support based on data-driven decisions where the whole child is looked at, including academics, attendance, and behavioral. This is critical in identifying the needs of our students in order to reduce special education referrals.
Attendance is a critical factor for student success, and as such, our MTSS efforts include structured supports from early learning through grade 12. We currently provide many proactive measures deployed at each school, including parent letters and scripts for consistent messaging. We are strengthening family involvement and problem solving and improving the documentation of all efforts to enhance effectiveness, prevent duplication, and fully support each family towards improved attendance. Looking forward, we aim to utilize customized dashboards to analyze real-time data and strengthen partnerships between home and school. From early learning through grade 12, our MTSS model includes one lens for both social emotional learning and behavior. At the early learning level, we also bring academic supports into focus in the same MTSS process for our tiny Tomcats, as their ability to first co-regulate with a trusted adult and then self-regulate are intertwined with their ability to be accessible for learning throughout their school day. The early learning staff implement the pyramid model, led by our social emotional leadership team and our MTSS social workers to guide our practices at all 3 tiers. Our screening tool, the Ages and Stages questionnaire, and our main assessment tool, the DRDP, serve as early learning's Tier 1 screening tools, while we utilize Second Step as our social emotional curriculum at Tier 1.
As we also look at the supports that are in place for our kindergarten through 12th grade students, we currently have at the Tier 1 level, we use the Satchel Pulse Social Emotional Screener, and it's given to all kindergarten through 12th grade students as well as their teachers. Oh, thank you. At the Tier 2 level, all grades, kindergarten through 12, we have social workers, counselors, school psychologists to help with their social emotional supports as well as groups. But also at our elementary school levels, we have behaviorists that provide additional support with the implementation of behavioral strategies. At the Tier 3 level, we have board certified behavior analysts that are available for all grade levels to provide consultation and supports for our special education programs as well as our other identified high needs students. Areas that are currently in progress include reviewing our Tier 1 social emotional screener data in our MTSS teams to make informed decisions and adjustments. Our district joint behavior and discipline committee is meeting on a monthly basis. We are also working to build consistency with our Tier 1 Second Step social emotional curriculum, early childhood through 8th grade, and as well as the implementation of our Tier 2 Second Step small group instruction. Our next steps are building a shared understanding of our Tier 1 through 3 MTSS roles and responsibilities at all of our buildings, as well as establishing a Tier 1 through 3 MTSS social, emotional, and behavioral teams in all of our buildings.
In the world of academics, we have universal screeners and progress monitoring tools that help us identify growth as well as learning gaps when it comes to math and literacy, to help place students in interventions as needed. Some pieces in progress include our updating of our placement criteria, as well as developing a resource guide based on student needs. In second semester, we will continue with our joint committee work where we will be looking at shared understandings and common language. Oh, oh no. All right. So in summary, we strive to have a cohesive, proactive, and data-driven framework across all of our buildings that support the whole child. Moving forward, we will continue our work in joint committees in order to work on our alignment, shared understandings, and structured conversations. What questions can we answer?
I guess for me, I was looking at, and this was great, a great learning tool for some of our new board members and how the MTSS process works. But can you walk me through, or maybe someone, just how this would run as a teacher? If I'm a teacher in the district, how would the MTSS process come for a student that I might be concerned about?
Well, it will first depend on the concern. We have MTSS teams in each of our buildings that will look at data as well as teacher concerns. I'm thinking about which grade level would I like to tackle in this one, because as you saw, we have a very elaborate.
Let's go with any elementary level.
Okay. So for those teams, again, there are each building will have its MTSS team where a student is brought up with data. There are flowcharts that indicate the process where they will look at their screener data, starting with MAP. If we're looking at academics, we would also look at our second step data. If we were looking at behavior, and then of course attendance for attendance. From the end, we should really look at the whole picture depending on where where the need is arising for the students. From there, the team will determine what supports are needed and whether that would fit in each of our buckets, whether it be academic. If we're looking at reading, we will place a second screener assessment. If we're looking at SEL, or we're looking at attendance, there's a second level. From there, the MTSS team will determine what fits. If it's reading, there's a prescribed program, same with math. And would you like to continue for the SEL piece?
Social emotional of the student.
To the mic.
Oh, sorry. For social emotional, they're looking at disciplinary data, satchel pulse data, as well as sometimes second step data. And depending on what the skill deficit is, it aligns with the Castle 5. They'll place the student strategically in a group depending on where that deficit is. So we have a second step tier 2 curriculum that we're using currently kindergarten through 8th grade. And so students can be placed, and that is facilitated by a social worker, a counselor, a psychologist, or behaviorist, and they'll go into an intervention.
From there, there's progress monitoring every 6 weeks, again, based on which category they're falling into, determine if the intervention is working, if we need to modify it, or we need to go in a different direction. And that process continues. 6 weeks, yes.
Sorry, Mr. Levis, go ahead.
Do we have a district-wide MTSS process form that every school has unified, or is it, because that's where I want to go with,
Great
right?
question.
I just want to make sure that we all are on the same page. We all have the same data. We are asking for the same unified across every school.
Yes, and that is where our different joint committees are leading this year in that work.
Real quick, just to follow up on Mr. Levis's question, when you talk about the team, if he's a classroom teacher, how does he play into that team aspect there?
So the classroom teacher should be bringing up those conversations in PLC. The PLC leaders meet with their building administrators. Again, this is a process, but depending on the buildings, of course. And then from there, that goes, those admin members are a part of the MTSS teams, which then will dive deeper from there.
Thank you.
Yep. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Next up, we have an informational item for today. It is a request by Ms. Jen Mitchell and the East High School team for disposal of outdated novels. The information is shared in this memo and then would be up for action at the January board meeting. And then last but not least is our enrollment and attendance report. Our current enrollment as of December 5th is 11,733 students. Last year at this time, we had 12,320 students. And then our attendance is currently at 87.49%, which is lower than our attendance at this time last year.
Just a quick follow-up with that. I know, Mr. Simpson, when we were talking earlier with Dr. Engel there, can you speak a little bit to what the work that your executive directors are going to be doing with building leadership to kind of reset attendance expectations in the SIP plans and action steps with that?
Yeah, absolutely. So we know that our SIP plans are living, breathing documents that we are constantly evolving and working on them as the new data comes in. One of the new data pieces that has come in regularly is our attendance data. And we do know that our attendance is down as a district year over year. There are a lot of things that I think that we are all aware of that are playing into some of our attendance decreases, some external factors. But our 3 executive directors for school leadership will be working with all of their building principals to focus in on those key action items and tasks associated with their attendance data out of school improvement plans to make some of those necessary adjustments, as we are living in a little bit of a different world right now, and the data is showing us a different story than it did when those plans were created and developed over the summer and the beginning part of the school year. Any other questions I can answer on that? Sorry.
All right, so that concludes our curriculum meeting. We're going to go ahead and adjourn at 6:31. Thank you for being here.